Hey, Kevin here with Imagination Hobbies. Watched a video for probably the 20th time, to be honest with you. But it was posted by RP Archive, also known as The Archive. He makes custom terrain, um, modular terrain, using a lot of magnetization and different systems. The whole point of it is to be able to just have that flexibility and modularity to use it for anything. Um, he did post a video on furnishings and like tabletop stuff, miniature tabletop stuff. So if you want to put food or drinks or things on tables, kind of how to magnetize them. Um, the way I did it is just kind of a no-brainer. It's not necessarily following his exact steps, but it just kind of inspired me to make a video with a bunch of little stuff I have that honestly I would never use otherwise. So if you notice, this is all sculpted on. It's really cool. It's a really nice piece, something I got on eBay that I'm sure you could find. Um, but it's all, it's static. It's just stuck there. You can't move it around, which is fine. You don't necessarily have to. But the thing with gluing things down like this or things coming sculpted within the object is that it's always going to be like that. It's always going to be this static object, and you can't really use it for too many other things besides what it's representing. So I am building a tavern. It's already done. I'm just expanding it. I'm going into building extra rooms and hallways and different levels to it. I'm using some warlock tiles as well as something I custom made out of Hearst Arts in the past. And so the point of this video is to just kind of bring to light a lot of these little fiddly bits that you normally wouldn't really use. Uh, Normally, you glue this to a table, and then that table is forever that way, right? It's always going to be what it is. So instead of doing that, since I have a lot of little odds and ends, some of it very random, and then more to go over there. Some plates and dishes and stuff over there. Um, what I wanted to do was take advantage of that magnetization and modularity option. So all these are magnetized onto here, as you can see by the bottom. Now, the bottom, yeah, that looks like crap, right? But, I mean, you're never going to see it. So, not really a big deal. Um, Now, I did buy some sheet metal, some sheet steel, very thin, tiny sheet steel that I'm going to see if I can put on the bottom of these benches. Because if I can sand this beam down and lay a sheet of steel on the bottom of these benches to where you don't notice, then I can go to the next step and actually put a magnet in the butt of all these people to sit down on the bench. And then that way, when you go to move things around, you're not knocking things over when you do that. Now, these are pretty stable minis. These are custom, well, not custom, but these are professionally sculpted miniatures from a Kickstarter recently called the Prancing Peacock, I believe it was, by Dunkeldorf Miniatures. This came in a couple weeks ago, and I just thought these were cool, but I do want to see if I can magnetize them, because then what I can do is I can use these sitting miniatures, which are quite expensive typically to find seated miniatures, in multiple ways. So if I want to put them on a bench, I could put them on a bench. If I want to stick him on an individual chair, I could stick him on an individual chair. If I want him, hanging out on the side of the table, he can just sit on the table. So I guess you kind of get the point. I just want options, and I don't want things falling over all the time. So if I can, take advantage of magnetization in every way, which takes a long time to do, but it really gives you the utility you're looking for, and you can actually use these pieces. I wouldn't be setting these pieces up every time, trying to balance them. Like these don't have magnets in them yet. So if I'm just trying to balance them like that, and then the table shifts and they get knocked over, and it's just no bueno. So basically set this up in kind of a offset grid pattern, so it's like one side's further than the other, if you can kind of see what I'm doing there. All the way to the end. So there's 8 spots. They're kind of zigzagged. I guess I could just show you the magnets. They're zigzagged, and then I wanted to put one in the dead center, so I can make sure that if I have a centerpiece, then I can use that centerpiece, like this, I don't know, pig's head for a feast or something like that. That can sit right in the center, or this large bowl, it can sit right in the center. And so I magnetized everything here with the exception of these. I didn't quite know what to do with these apothecary tables that go on tables. I didn't understand what that is. I guess it could sit on the ground. So I didn't magnetize those, but I did magnetize things like this little skull, which would normally roll and fall over. This skull, these books, this, and so I can build the tables as I want them. So for instance, if I want an apothecary here in the background, and I want him to have like a cool little skull thing, and then let's say I want to put the tables on there, arrange that, and then you have like, I don't know, apothecary table or a potions type table. And so I did that with all these. So all 4 of these tables have been magnetized. And as you can see, I mean, it's not, I'm doing this with one hand. It's not super fiddly. They don't really stick to each other too much. So yeah, just kind of cool. I did 6 spots on the smaller tables, I think, plus the center. So I can do like a candle in the middle if I wanted to, and some beer mugs. And we'll just quickly change this into like a tavern bar table or something of that nature. And so that's like got some brews on it, some water, a little candle in the middle. You know, I guess you get the idea. So plates and stuff, I have a ton of those. I have a ton of these little dishes and plates and things. And so what I'm going to try to do is buy these super duper flat magnets. I had one. As you can see, it's very flat and thin, and I would prefer to put those on the bottom of the plate so I don't have to do any drilling, because they're very thin. I don't know if I can get a lot of different types of magnets in there. These are the size that I was using for these little tiny pieces here. So that's the plan. I'm going to do a lot of that. I'm going to hopefully get these guys' butts magnetized onto these benches, and then do a bunch of chairs and magnetize those as well. I was thinking about using that metal that I was going to get. It's like sheet metal, and gluing it on here, maybe in a way that's inconspicuous, so I can also use these objects on here and magnetize them, as well as any other flat furniture objects I have, which I do have a ton of. And so it just kind of gives you modularity. It also gives you modularia. Sounds like a disease. It also gives you like the fact that you don't have to really worry or be concerned about someone bumping the table. Like nothing slamming on the table. Nothing's happening. Anyway, I don't know how loud that was. Apologize. But that's my little video. Check out RP Archive. He is literally one of the best crafters on YouTube for making D&D accessories and terrain. Check out, or maybe Google it, because the Kickstarter's over, but Dunkeldorf Miniatures, the Prancing Peacock, is pretty cool. Got all kinds of stuff. This guy's supposed to be like drunk on the ground. So I'm sure you can buy them now. Hopefully at this stage, maybe you can pre-order them. They're fulfilled the Kickstarter, from what I could tell. So yeah. Anyway, just thought it was cool. Hopefully you guys also get some inspiration for this. If you haven't seen the RP Archive and you came across my channel somehow, go check them out and then hopefully get some inspiration to do the same. I don't recommend drilling metal pewter objects. It's pretty much a pain in the butt. But if you have these tiny magnets and you have some green stuff, you can really honestly sculpt any of this little tiny stuff very easy. If you wanted to sculpt like a plate, or what else we got? We got dishes, plates, candles, these little rum bottles. I mean, those are not hard to sculpt. And the RP Archive shows you how to make them if you do want to just make them out of a stick and some Mod Podge. So you don't have to buy metal individual things. I'm only using these because I already had them, and I just want to get some use out of them. So I don't know. Thanks for checking it out. Appreciate your patience with my rambling, and I'll catch you guys later. Imagination Hobby signing off. Have a good one. Bye.